For years, the federal government has been a stable source of employment for many residents. Our residents in Prince George's County seek access to high quality private sector career jobs within the community with quality salaries. What specific initiatives would you support to attract businesses offering professional careers and opportunities that invest in workforce development of our county residents? And we will start with Mr. Gray.
Thank you for that question. We have an economic development corporation. We also have that goes out and tries to attract businesses to Prince George's County. I think we need to leverage that far more than what we have currently done. Give them the budget they need to actually go out and do that. We also have an EDI fund, which I'm not exactly happy with some of the investments that have been made there. We have bought such things as the Pizza and some other businesses to the county. I think we need to be more careful as to what we choose to invest in. We need to invest in high quality jobs that can support a family. All the jobs can support a family, not just maybe the manager's position. We also did a relatively large investment to a good food store, which is no longer open in Capitol Heights through our EDI fund, which turned out to be a total failure. So we need to, again, be more accountable to the citizens as to the dollars we spend, their tax dollars, and make sure it's on a truly viable business. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Middleton.
Yes. So I speak to business owners all the time about this, and the number one thing that they tell me is, listen, it takes me, again, I'm going to take it back to DPI. Your permitting process is way too long. There are so many businesses who want...
So keep
already?
going. Keep going. No, you're going. That was just...
There's so many businesses who want to come to Prince George's County. A lot of them are who are already operating in Prince George's County. But it takes them 2 years to get a use and occupancy permit to allow them to open their doors to serve residents. And the businesses that are most affected by this are small and minority businesses. So in order for us to make it so businesses will come here and we can have more jobs and have more workforce development, we have to make it easier for them to actually come here and not have them wait 2 years for them to be able to open their doors. So I want to make sure that we're streamlining our permitting process, making sure that we have a zoning code that's modern so we can attract the kind of businesses that we want here. If you guys are familiar with a place called Park Social in DC, it's a dog park where you can get like a bite to eat and a drink. We can't have that here in Prince George's County, not because they don't want to come here, but because our zoning code doesn't allow for that kind of establishment. So, and that's just one example. So I want to make sure that our permitting processes are easy to navigate, that you don't need a rocket science degree to get through, and I'll also make sure that we are modernizing our zoning code so we can attract the quality industries and businesses here, because I'm sick of driving into DC and paying $30 to take my wife out for a nice dinner, which I'm probably going to have to do tomorrow night.
Thank you. Mr. Price.
I've been talking to my members in the Republican Party to ask the president not to mess with the FBI building. I believe that we have the land, the space to build up. We will, once we put in the FBI building, it will create jobs like they have done at New Carrollton, in New Carrollton Metro. And every time I see him, I say, I'm running down there. Do not have that man talk about opening up the bidding for the FBI building again. And I'm talking about him about some other things too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wade.
Again, I'm representing in the town of Cheverly. As you probably know in the news, Cheverly Hospital, which is the biggest development since the National Harbor. And the major aspects of the development there to make sure that it's a success. And in many ways, that will be the gateway into Prince George's County. So me as an elected council member now, dealing with that, making sure that we have smart development, working with our constituents, not just in Cheverly, but around Cheverly and around other municipalities that you probably have read, to make sure that we work with them directly regarding that. Really what we need to do is make sure we have transit-oriented development. around our transit systems. Like you see in Washington, D.C. and other areas, making sure that you have walkable eating places. I do agree with Mr. Middleton. We both have little ones that we have to get in our car to go to Crofton, Annapolis, D.C. in order for us to have a good bite to eat. It's unacceptable regarding that. But regarding your other question regarding what type of jobs, we have 3 major institutions in higher education: Bowie State, Prince George's Community College, and University of Maryland. We need to have a filter system and to go into AI technology, Research Triangle, as they do in the Carolinas, as well as other defense contracting coming to the town. We have the land. We have the 3 universities here that inside our county that we can filter that into to bring in us in a new age of technology regarding that. And that's the way we have to come up with creative ways to keep all our young scholars in Prince George's County without leaving to go other areas as well.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Adams.
Okay, so as I'm looking at what's happening federally, my prediction is that we're going to see a major swing towards contracting. If you look at it from a large perspective, it seems as though they're trying to reduce their overhead costs by cutting all of these people out of the government. So they're going to rely more on contractors to do that work. The issue here in Prince George's County is while we do have many people that are government contractors, we lack the technical assistance support in order to really get into the contracts that we need to really make a difference. The only place where you can get technical assistance is in the North County. It's the Apex Center. It's very far away from here. I would recommend putting those centers in all of the councilmanic districts so that people can go and get that technical assistance to get their business off the ground. I would say also thinking about how can we reduce administrative costs for small businesses. I talked earlier about helping people move their businesses from their homes into retail by offering them incentives like leasing assistance for maybe the first 6 months to a year. Also, I want to think about how might we leverage some of our assets here. Andrews Air Force Base, NASA, Duval. Thinking about Senator Alonzo Washington's thought of making this an aerospace pipeline. How can we build careers in those industries as well? Also, how might we think about wealth generating opportunities for our citizens? Even though someone may bring a retail store here, does it really benefit the citizens or does it benefit a large corporation? What if the person or group that wins the contract for University of Maryland to do their laundry let every person that worked there get some of their profit sharing? Those things happen in other places and they can happen here as well.
Thank you. Ms. Dudley.
In Africa, they say, how are the children when they greet you? Because if the children aren't being taken care of in a community, then you know that the community is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Our public school system is 60% of the budget. And we have an economic engine right there ready to go. When I look at the fact that Amazon moved to Pentagon City when they had an opportunity to build here in Prince George's County, they went there because the schools were better. They'll tell you that. And if we want to attract businesses of that caliber to come to Prince George's County, then we've got to make sure that our schools are such that those big businesses want to have their children go to those schools. And I hear a lot of people talking about our school system. I'm tired of people saying bad things about us. Our teachers are working with less and less every day. We have a teacher shortage right now. We've got all these federal employees. We had this happen in the 80s where a lot of the employees were cut. And what they did was they retrained them and they became educators because they had degrees. I'm a career changer. I was not always a teacher. They sent me back to school. They paid for me to go to school, and we have teachers in the classroom. You can build 12 schools. You can build 24 schools. It's not going to help if you don't have the teachers there to teach. And right now, I got a class with 40 children in it in my third mod class. And I'm trying to do the best I can with what I got. And I think that we have to make sure that we use Maryland National Park and planning resources because they get more money than anybody for our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.